So a week or so ago, it's funny. It doesn't really look that bad right here. A week or so ago, Ivar and Johnny were in town from Norway. A couple weeks now. We hung out a lot. On the very last night of the hangout, or of their time being here, we came down to my house after already having been at Chip's house for a couple hours sampling. And we got into some Bigfoot Barleywine from the cellar, and I ran this video, but it was very, very dark. And as I sit here and we're watching this, it actually is not that bad. However, Chip took it and did some video magic, and now it looks like that. And so I thought, the conversation is what it is. It's nothing too revelatory, but it was tasting some kind of old vintagey Sierra Nevada Bigfoot Barleywine, and he thought maybe the people would like to see it. So anyway, I'm putting this intro in, and then I'll throw this clip up there, and you can take it for what it's worth. Thanks, Chip. A real deep cut. This is a real bonus video that's in the archives.
Yeah, let me just do like a quick Google to see if there's any idea of what this recipe is like.
The light is not good, but you know what? Pause this.
Oh, AHA actually has a recipe for this, so that would be pretty trustworthy.
I think I might have made an attempt at this type of beer.
2-row C75, C105, Carapils, then Chinook, Centennial, Cascade, Chinook, Centennial. So, what you would expect, like a C hop, big ass barley wine, 10.99 to 10.12, so 9.6% on most years.
People can, they can look up what this beer is. If they care. Alright, we are coming to you live on tape. The light is not good. You may not even see who is here. I'm Don. That's Chip. We got Ivar. We got Johnny. We were at Chip's house. If you watched my fruit beer video tasting, we just shot those notes a while ago, and we had some more beers, and then we're like, let's go down to my house and drink some Bigfoot Barleywine. So I had a handful of them in the cellar. I think the oldest one was like 2007, maybe.
I think you had a 6.
Oh, I have a 6. We do have
but
a 2000.
we didn't have a duplicate, so we didn't use it.
So we have a 2007,
7,
2014,
14,
and 19.
Bow.
And I have not bought any for 4 years, so I have a deficit.
So 4-ish years, 9?
We don't got to do the math.
9-ish years, and then
People can figure out the math.
16 years. One of these beers is 16 years old.
What do we think? That is correct. What do we think of 2007? The oldest.
Tasting this first, I thought it was still hoppy comparing to other stored beers.
Do you think, what other stored beers would you have had that, you don't drink that old Kvike, but even if you drank, like you said, you drank like a 2 or 3 year old Kvike or something, but it's not hoppy, that's not what it's about.
Then the older hops have gone.
Right.
Yeah. If you drink one that's been maybe a little over a year, the hop starts to go away, and you get like the oxidized, fruity, dried fruit that you get in this, but without the hops as well.
I agree, there's still some bitterness. And it's not bad in the way of bad packaging, too oxidized, spoiled, blah blah blah, infected, there's
all the
nothing of
cartons and paper things are not here.
No.
Yeah.
It is noticeably darker though. If you hold all three up against the light.
Okay.
A lot.
The other two look almost actually identical, but this one's got a little bit more.
That's probably from age, we would suspect. What about 2014 now? If you smell it, you can smell a little bit of hops.
Yeah.
Which on a 9-year-old beer,
Yeah.
imagine, I mean, the hops that go into making this giant
Mm.
high alcohol beer to make
It was
it
a lot
still-
of hops and different.
Gotta be.
Yeah. So this is still a hoppy beer by my taste.
I mean, this would be too bitter for a lot of beer drinkers.
People. Yeah.
It says 90 IBUs when fresh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's that's wild. That I wouldn't say that tastes fresh, but up against that,
Right.
it is a much
At
more.
9 years old.
Yeah,
Isn't that something?
That's a
This one's still
drinkable.
9. That's crazy.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, again, these are actually, these are like 70 Fahrenheit. Like they're
Yeah.
warm. They're
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
straight out of the cellar. That's
Yeah.
not
That's
that
what-
cold right now. Not chilled.
That's why we like them.
Spontaneous drinking.
All sea house. We looked up the recipe. It's like Chinook, Cascade, Centennial.
Yeah.
It's a lot of kind of Sierra Nevada's SOP to some extent.
How about 2019? Do you think it has more hop aroma than the previous one?
It
Similar?
On the nose, it doesn't,
Not as
which makes sense. It doesn't smell as aged. It smells
Oh.
like things are still popping. Like even up against the 14, when you go to between them, you're like, oh yeah, the 14 does have a little bit of that sherry, plum, prune.
Yeah. This one tastes like much fresher wort. Yeah, you
Mm.
still taste the beer.
I think the IBUs are coming across stronger.
Yeah.
It has
a
more
lot.
of a detectable
Yeah.
IBU bitterness. However, like you said, Ivar, the difference, like the 19 and 14 are closer
Mm.
to
Oh, for sure.
character and flavor and bitterness than the older one.
I feel like the middle one though has these like baking spices, kind of cinnamon and these other kind of notes coming out, whereas this tastes more beer-like, more barley wine-like. These clearly are being affected by their age to certain extents. This
Yeah.
tastes surprisingly, I mean, a
Fresh.
fresh-ass
Yeah.
Bigfoot is way more aggressive.
But
But
that's what's
I
amazing,
would
and
feel
I don't
like-
have anything more recent than 2019, and it's 2023 right now. But yes, when you when you buy the
Yeah.
6-pack and you pop one open, it's kind of tears your socks off.
yeah,
If you drink this and drag your tongue up in the mouth, it's plenty of resin and bitterness.
Resin.
drag your tongue across the top of your mouth.
Never heard of that before. I mean, it's pretty cool that you can. I mean, pause,
Hold on, just make the light. Come on,
pause.
everybody, wiggle.
That means
There
it's
we
a video.
go.
It's
There
five,
we go. We're
5
back on.
minutes.
We're back on.
Hats off to
That was a
Sierra Nevada for the
Oh.
packaging quality control.
And
you
this
know?
is
And the recipes.
this is huge beers in both malt and hops.
yeah. What do
Yeah.
you say? 1093 to 1020 or something like
I
that.
don't know what the alcohol is if it says, but it's got to be.
It's
Oh, it
it's
does
hot-
say. I can't really read it.
Is it 96?
9.6.
Yeah.
1099 to 1020.
But these without
There you go.
alcohol, they would taste like malt extract because they are so thick still.
Yeah.
Not this one. This is like Madeira.
Reminds you of an old Sammy Claus, but that doesn't have the hops.
That would
But
not-
just
yeah,
like an
yeah.
old, strong, aged beer, or a Thomas Hardy. You guys have probably never had a Thomas Hardy
Mm.
ale was like an old ale, English old ale. You can age those, and they can be around for many, many years, and they're still okay. But the alcohol, I think, preserves them. However, they don't have the hop character. These sons of
Still
guns
have the
have
low.
some hops.
Yeah.
With
And that's
this,
what I was saying to you when we were talking about that earlier. Is like the Bigfoot Barleywine.
Yeah.
They
What-
maintain some hop character.
Yep.
Would this Kvike well?
The
1090
one.
seems kind of like
I mean, it would,
1099.
if you put that many hops in it, it would.
I mean, this
ferment.
doesn't
Yeah,
seem unlike your
it-
beers, other than the fact that it's hopped to heck.
Yeah, but to ferment, you will get a much earlier ready brew to drink. But with this much hop, you would not have any fruitiness from
essence,
the no, because these are quite pungent.
But the Kvike yeast wouldn't be much of a factor in whether you could keep this beer around for 10 or 15 years either way. You don't know, or do we not really know
no,
that? Maybe
that is not tested yet.
not tested. Okay.
But
Right.
I know that beers used with using Kvike, they store pretty well if you kept them good.
I mean, we assume they use a neutral American ale strain
Yeah.
to ferment these.
Yeah,
Chico. I mean, that would be
Probably.
their. Yeah. They are Chico. Bum bum
Yeah.
bum 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 bum.
these are
Yeah, cool.
real good. And when it is the youngest one,
Mine's gone almost. Yeah. Gosh, I wonder if I can find. I want to. I can have Fiddy and see if he has some in the cellar. Like I failed.
From the
Failed.
last couple of years.
Last
Like
4
the
years,
20s.
man. I've like failed.
I'm gonna go together and do a taste then.
Yeah.
You bring up some and he bring
That'd
up
be
some.
fun. We could do a chop and brew video. And
I just
want
want to buy some to put into my. You know, it probably was like 4 years ago, and I was like, oh, I haven't bought any for 17, 18, 19. He was like, dude, I got some. I'll hook you up. And I bought a 6-pack, and he was like, how about $15? I was like, yeah, fine, or whatever the price was. It was like not that much, but yeah. I think that'll do it. I think that'll wrap it up from the dimly lit backyard. Ooh, we got
The ghost of Bigfoot.
got a little
Pass.
music, All right, maybe this video will see the light of day.
No.
It's pretty dark.